what Kiambu has been able to do for its people. But to Chair, I am happy that, there is this talk that the governors are not supposed to appear before this committee. I don't know for what reasons. Chair, we have a very, very fundamental responsibility. We are not the creators of the Constitution. The Constitution is owned by the people of Kenya. We are here by virtue of being here, by right, by the Constitution. I don't think whether it's anybody anywhere in this country who can decide not to say that he is not supposed to appear before this committee. And by coming here, Honorable Dr. Wamatangi, is a very clear demonstration that you are ready to account for the funds that are sent to Kiambu people by this House. So we are very happy as a committee, and we promise that another time when you appear, we shall be ready to work with you to make sure that whatever money you get for Kiambu County is being accounted for. Thank you, Chair, and we are very much impressed.
Chair, can I go before the Vice Chair?
Thank you. Maybe the Chair, Education, can go on record.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Senator Betty Montet, and I'm a friend to this committee.
Karibu, Senator.
Yeah, maybe
Senator Cherargei.
As a quick observation, I want to appreciate the role that OAG plays, and as we have normally put it, they are the prosecutors in this matter. And I'm happy they have said they will sample a few projects so that we close. And Governor, you are aware we don't do audit, we just consider. You are once a member of this House, you are a senior member of Public Accounts Committee, and some of us sat with you in the same committee. So I want to appreciate OAG for the good job that they are doing, and that is why they're independent. Chair, Kenyans should also be careful in what they consume. I saw a sensational headline today about Alanda Stadium that is around 11 billion. I'm informed that that report has been tabled before the National Assembly Committee. I think all stakeholders will consider the way we do. And we should be careful because there could be an intention to try and disparage Talanta Stadium before being named after the leader, former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga. So we tell them washindwe katika jina la Yesu. Secondly, Governor, I want to appreciate and celebrate you for doing your constitutional obligation. You know, Governor, when some of us see a lot of political noise in Kiambu, led by a number of our colleagues, I had to leave Nandi yesterday very late to come and see if you will appear to account for the resources of Kiambu. Because the doomsayers of politics of Kiambu have made us believe that Governor Dr. Kimani Wamatangi is doing absolutely nothing on the ground, even to account. So the fact that you came with your team ready with the 3 reports to account for each and every shilling of the great people of Kiambu, Governor, you have done the great people of Kiambu proud, and they should be proud of you because you are willing to account for each and every shilling that this Senate appropriates. And Governor, we are happy also to note that, I saw the Finance and Budget Committee made the governors who want 534 billion to be allocated. But the question we normally ask, why is it that governors are more willing, more excited to come and lobby us for the increment in equitable share, but they don't want, a number of you don't want to come and account for? We should be fair to Kenyans. When being appropriated, you should be ready to take it, but when it comes to account the way you have done, you have to account for each and every money that we give you. And Governor, I'm happy I can see, well done. We wanted to test the eating in the pudding, Chair. And I'm keen, I am reliably informed that a number of more than close to 1,000 ECD centers have been done and others are continuing. We would want to visit, and I'm happy the Chair of Education is here. We are told that the feeding program, I remember when you appeared, is going on very well in Kiambu. I am impressed with your passion towards the health sector, Chair. I've ever seen this Kikuyu Level 4 Sub-County Hospital. I think there is one in Kahawa Sukari when I was going somewhere. And these are reminders that evolution is a success. Governor, ignore the noise, the political noise. Focus on serving the great people of Kiambu. Ignore the people who want to bring you down by even attacking your persona and your interest. Ignore them. Just focus on the people of Kiambu, what the people of Kiambu elected you. And we are proud, even I've seen your own source revenue. The CRE has projected, but I've seen there is a steady growth in own source revenue. So, Governor, we are very proud of what you are doing. And by the way, let me say this, Chair, with a lot of respect in conclusion. It is not our business to do any political witch hunt against any governor. It's not our business to embarrass any governor. Because what we share with Kenyans is what in their reports. So when a governor from Bungoma comes and brings a story of buying a Christmas tree of 3.6 million, it is not us. It's not the Public Accounts Committee, it's their own making. When a governor from Mandera buys 55.6 seedlings, yet it is a dry area, and he cannot account for it, it is not us. We are not sanctimonious to come and sanctify any governor. Our business is to consider the responses that come with the with the responses from the. Finally, Chair, I'm happy the leadership have decided that we shall not do any kangaroo meeting with Council of Governors. First, Council of Governors is not a legal entity. It is not anchored in any law. It is a boys' club of professional gossip that we should not even be discussing in this committee, because the issue of accountability, Governor, and I'm happy you have noted that response, is individual. The COG does not exist anywhere in the law. It is just a team of, we normally see merry-go-round, chama ya wamama, ile chama ya kupeana pesa over the weekend. That is the role of Council of, and I'm happy, Chair, that the leadership, the Bishop is here, and a number of us have confirmed, because we will be subverting the Constitution. The moment we come and say, instead of accounting, let us do a kangaroo meeting before going for accounting and accountability, we would have failed a Chair. Governor, we wish you well as you travel. I hope by Monday we'll be ready. And on a lighter note, you know, when I hear Wambua trying to, of course, to empathize with what happened, I remember the person he's talking or about him. They go to the same church. So I pray as they go to pray in AIC Milimani, you can pray over him and also console him and also encourage him to stop doing such, Governor. And I'm happy the president yesterday said we should end wrangles in Kiambu. At least the president has spoken. I hope the leadership of Kiambu, led by you, will come together. Let the people of Kiambu, Chair, and let me not forget this. You remember from 2013, Kiambu as a county government until the era of Kimani Wamatangi. The first governor, it was a disaster. The second governor was impeached, another came in. I remember the last time he was in a church saying, pray for me, napitia mengi. So now this is the only time that Kiambu County government, to be fair to Kiambu, under the leadership of Dr. Kimani Wamatangi, Senator and Governor of Kiambu, has been stable. And we are very proud of that. We want our county governments to be stable. We want devolution to work and be stable. Chair, with those very many remarks, I thank you and I yield back and wish you well, Governor, as you serve the great people of Kiambu, the bedroom of Nairobi.
Thank you, Senator Cherargei. Vice Chair.
Yeah, thank you, Chair, because Senator Cherargei has been extremely, has said a lot. I'll just say very few things. That Governor Dr. Kimani Wamatangi has been in this committee in the last parliament. We were with him in this committee, and most of the things that I do today, I learned from him. I would have been very, very surprised if you didn't turn up for this meeting, because you used to say and tell governors that you come here to account for the resources that are allocated to you, and that devolution is the best thing that we gave to ourselves as Kenyans. And there is nothing that would serve as a clawback that would be allowed, including attending to these accountability meetings. Now, if you didn't come, I would have been disappointed, but also surprised. So I think I would like to thank you for having come, and that here we don't find faults. We rely on the auditors to do their job. If there's any fault, they indicate it in these audit reports, and then you come, we give you a second bite at the cherry to tell us if there was no explanation that was done during the time of audit, are you able to explain it now? So for us, if the auditor is not ready, then we might not be able to proceed. We'll give them opportunity to go and confirm and test the evidence that you've given. Then they would come another time to come and engage. I have flipped through the report. When we come here, we're not coming to find fault only, but we also want to engage to see if there are any gaps that need to be filled in terms of legislation, and also to give feedback to our community, to our people at home and in the country, because these proceedings are live. Are there any benefits that are due to the people of Kiambu? And I would like to agree with the Senator Cherargei. I've looked at the report, and I'm seeing that in this year under consideration, that 211 ECD classrooms were procured for construction. I don't know how many were procured in the previous years. I don't have that record, but it could be in the upward of 500. So it means you are able to partake the role, the function that was devolved, that is ECD, and given its importance, the importance that it requires. Because most counties have relegated ECDs, because it has to do with small children, they have relegated it to the periphery. But for me, as a person with a background of education, I know it's extremely important to take care of our children, because their minds expand, their brains expand from between 2 and 7 years. So when I see this progress, now the other questions, if we're engaging, I would ask, so are they feeding? Okay. So are they getting enough materials for teaching and learning? And all the other things like health and so on. So apart from just engaging with the audit queries, we also need to learn what is happening in our counties, so that if there's any policy hitch, if there's any legislative gap, we can be able to fill it. So when you go back to your colleagues, encourage them, talk to them, especially those who have not come through the Senate, because they might not be knowing the work that we do and the importance of the Senate in strengthening and protecting devolution. What surprises me is that there are some who have been senators, they have even been in this committee, and they're not able to come to these very important sessions. So I would like to congratulate you. I know you have opportunity to have an in-depth interrogation of this report for the sake of the people of Kiambu. Thank you so much, Chair. That would be it for me.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Governor, you have listened to the members of the committee. Before I give directions, maybe we could hear from you.
Thank you very much, Chair. I've heard from all members, Chair. I want to be on record because of the comments that have been made by senators, that as the governor of Kiambu, it is my individual interpretation of the law, of the Constitution, that the responsibility to account for the resources allocated to the people of Kiambu is distinct and lies squarely on the county government itself and the governor. Chair, the Constitution recognizes the governor as the CEO of the county. And so we do not have, in my interpretation of the law, any other recourse but to appear here as a county government. And that's why I've asked my people to come, so that we can come and deal with the issues that have been raised by the Auditor General. Secondly, Chair, I pray and hope that this issue will be resolved between the two institutions, so that we can find good progress. Moving forward, Chair, I would put it on record also that the two strongest pillars of devolution is the Senate and the COG, Chair. We have made tremendous progress in devolution out of the commitment and efforts from the Senate. In most of the cases, Chair, when issues have arisen, and especially on allocation of resources, when we are fighting for more resources, we have come to this House, and we have found a hand to hold on to and to walk this journey together in the Senate. As a former colleague, I also know the kind of battles we have fought here to ensure that funds go to counties. And so for that reason, it is my wish and my hope and my prayer that we do find a solution very quickly and urgently so that these matters can be resolved and we move. Lastly, let me say that we in the Council of Governors, I want to assure you as a House and as the committee that we have tremendous respect for senators and for the House of Senate. And that will continue, Chair. That will continue. We shall treat this House and we shall treat you with the respect that's due. And so our appearance here is not by mistake, it is by intention. It is by decision, and we shall appear again when you say that we do appear to come and account for the resources allocated to the people of Kiambu. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Chair, Education, I hope that when you call them before your committee, they usually appear.
Yes, Chair, I can firmly confirm that they do, and I can confirm that being a resident of Kiambu, by the fact that our bedrooms are in Kiambu, we are very interested in what is happening in Kiambu, and I can say that I'm impressed, and especially from the Kiambu on-source revenue growth. Chair, looking at it, that this governor, Dr. Kimani Wamatangi, has been able to almost double the collection of on-source revenue, and this has also been transferred to services rendered to residents of Kiambu, because from what we see from the hospitals he has been able to build, from the ECD classes, and Chair, I can confirm from the reports I have on my desk that he has been able to do over 512 ECD centers. In fact, we were waiting for him to confirm when me and my committee will join him for the opening ceremony of the last batch of ECD centers he has been able to do. So I want to congratulate him for that, and also thank him for coming before this committee. The trend which we are seeing is worrying, but we believe most governors will reconsider their attitude towards this House and know that we are here not as competitors, but as a House to defend and support devolution. Thank you very much once again for appearing before this committee, and we look forward to engaging you in other committees also. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair and Senator. Let me then just give directions on how we are going to proceed. I think, first of all, it must be put on record that the appearance of Governor Wamatangi is not a favor. It is a constitutional duty. And let there not be an impression that we are pleading with other governors to appear. The moment one decided to run for the position of governor, you signed up to be the CEO of that county. And responsibility and accountability is individual. You cannot hide behind a group called the Council of Governors to run away from accountability. Let it also be clear that we do not have a constitutional problem. These are just people who are full of impunity, who do not want to account for the resources that have been allocated to them. I don't think we have a problem. I don't think we have a crisis. And I believe that this Constitution has given us adequate power and instruments to ensure that we compel the governors to appear before this committee. But on the other hand, we also hold the knife. The Finance Committee of the Council of Governors was meeting the Finance Committee of the Senate, arguing that we should allocate more than 500 billion to county governments. Yes, we have no problem doing that because this money does not go to governors. As Duale said, siyo pesa ya mama ya mtu. This is money for the people of Kiambu. So we would be happy to allocate even 600 billion or 700 billion, but you must account for it. You can't have a financial management system where you keep allocating without accountability. That is chaos. There has to be some transparency, there has to be accountability, and that is why we as politicians every 5 years we go back to the ballot. so that we go back to account to the people. So governors must have this habit of annual accounting before we release additional funds. So members, there is no crisis. The meeting of 26th is just a tea drinking session. It is not mandatory. It does not determine how this committee is going to progress with its work. And the governors who understand the Constitution will do what Governor Kimani Wamatangi has done. Kiambu has not known peace for a long time. And Governor, you are with us in the Senate. I think the last time Governor Waititu appeared before us, there were very interesting entries relating to expenditure in South Sudan and State House. And then when Governor Nyoro took over, he was defending the actions of the former governors. And I think we are in a very good space where we can now interrogate the work you have done. We are not interrogating the work of Nyoro, of Waititu, or of Kavogo. We are interrogating your work. And I wish we were ready to proceed, because we would have been very happy to find out if on-source revenue has grown by 2 billion over a period of 3 years, who used to pocket that money? You know, we need to find out. Because I don't think that you have levied additional taxes. I don't think that you are taxing Kiambu people more. Maybe it's just discipline in collection. We would have been very happy to find out who was pocketing the 2 billion that was not going to the people of Kiambu. And so, if the auditor is not ready to prosecute, then we cannot do fair justice to the people of Kiambu. We'll have to schedule another date. But the global, I think globally, governor devolution is under threat. And governors are slipping through a revolution that will re-centralize what counties are supposed to be doing. We have seen in housing, and we have asked this question to your colleagues. If you give out land and the government builds a house on it, whose asset is it? Which balance sheet is it going to appear on? Will it be the county balance sheet or the national government balance sheet? If the national government comes and builds a stadium, you have provided the land, whose asset is it? And there's nothing wrong with the national government doing these things. But there has to be some order. There has to be some formality. I think someone introduced themselves as a county attorney. We have been having these conversations with county attorneys that it's not enough for the national government to say that we are going to build here, we are going to do this there. You are two distinct but interdependent governments. At the end of the day, with this accrual reporting, you are supposed to maintain a balance sheet. So if the land belongs to the county, but the house was built by the national government, whose balance sheet is it going to appear on? We had this conversation with Nyandarua. I think the government is building for them a level 5 hospital. Is it a level 6? Level 6. All the procurement is being done by the national government, but the asset eventually belongs to the county. These are the conversations that we want to have with county governors. I do not want to have a conversation with governors around harassment, extortion, or blackmail, things where evidence cannot be produced. If there is evidence to that, I would expect that EACC by now, or DCI, would be processing the evidence. So, and that's why I'm saying there's no problem. There's no constitutional or statutory problem. We just have, as Sifuna called them, delinquents, people who are full of impunity and want to break the law and want to avoid accountability. Devolution is under threat. When you were in the Senate, Governor, I recall the long debate we had on revenue sharing. Was it revenue sharing? The formula. The formula. You look at Kiambu. Kiambu is such a big county now, in as much as you're collecting 5 billion, but the 5 billion is not adequate to kind of provide the services that you require in Kiambu. You now want a city to be declared. I think it's in Ruiru? In Thika. Do we have a formula that is fair and just to counties like Kiambu that have got serious service pressure? Can we have some special financing arrangement for certain counties or counties that host cities? Those are the conversations we want to have with the Council of Governors. We don't want to have a conversation on issues of gossip. The disappointing thing is that the Council of Governors, at least 20 of the members are former legislators. 8 of them are former senators. And of the former senators, 2 of them were even chairs of this committee. Professor Nyong'o, Senator Ochilo Ayako, you're a former member of this committee, and several others. So I hope that Senator Wambua, when you become a governor, you will not be like them, because it looks like something happens when people become governors.
God forbid that, Chair.
God forbid that you become a governor?
God forbid that I may turn my ways and start behaving funny.
Yeah, we pray that you'll be the next governor of Kitui, but we don't expect you to favor us. We just expect you to follow what the Constitution requires you to do. I want to request the County Assembly, the chair. In this report, I've seen issues of cabros, markets, boreholes, seedlings, piglets, fertilizer, things that we really, sitting in Nairobi, we might not be able to do much unless we go to Kiambu to do a site visit. Since all these projects are happening in your wards, I want you to have the courage to do the right thing as required by the Constitution, so that hopefully by the time we are getting the governor again, you'll have already done your preliminary findings, you'll have already done your preliminary report, so that we can tie the two together. Please do not, the Senate is not taking away the powers of the county assemblies. We want the county assemblies to step up. And I hope those were the conversations you're having with the president last week, not just on mortgages and pensions. I think that we must also have a conversation with the county assemblies. That it's not the Senate that is supposed to do this. We must work together. And when the governors say they cannot appear before the Senate, it means that the county assembly, they will not even cooperate. They will not even think about it. So we want to encourage you to do your bit so that the next meeting we can deal with the bigger policy issues. I think we then reach the conclusion that we cannot proceed. We will set a new date. We thought we could meet next week on Monday, but I've seen in our schedule there's some counties that are expected to appear next week on Monday. But we'll liaise with the Office of the Auditor General for us to agree on a date, so that these beautiful reports, we can break them down and confirm that the content is as good as the cover is. So with that, on